Alright, we're on First Chronicles chapter 9. So all of Israel were reckoned by genealogy, and behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, who were carried away to Babylon for their transgressions. Now the first inhabitants that dwelt there, physicians in their cities, were the Israelites, the priests, Levites, and the Nephilims. And in Jerusalem dwelt of the children of Judah, and all the children of Benjamin, and all the children of Ephraim and Manasseh. Uthai, the son of Ammihud of the Ormai, the son of Imrah. Okay. The children, alright, the son of Judah. I'm sorry. We're going into genealogy then. And I've been going down. How many chapters you think we got of this? Alright. I'm going to start on 13. And all their brethren's heads of the house of their father, and 1,703 very able men for work of the service of the house of the Lord. And we missed something here, and I'm not for sure what it is. Alright. We're going back into all them oh man. Those words that I can't do. Okay. Let's look. I know I got a page here, and it's like stuck together. Let's try this again. And 121. And Zachorn of the son of Meshullam was porter at the door of the tabernacle or the congregation. All these were chosen to be porters in the gates, were the 212, and these were reckoned by their genealogy in the village whom David and Samuel the seer did ordain in their set office. So they and their children had the oversight of the gate of the house of the Lord, namely the house of the tabernacle by the ward. Alright, so we're going through all the genealogy of everybody that messed with the house of the Lord. 24. And 4 quarters were the porters towards the east, west, north, and south, and their brethren which were in their village were to come after 7 days from time to time with them. For the Levites, the 4 chief porters, were in their set office, and were over the chambers and treasures of the house of God. And they lodged around about the house of God, because the charge was upon them, and the opening thereof every morning pertained to them. And certain of them had charges of the ministering vessels, that they should bring them in and out by tale. Some of them also were appointed to oversee the vessels and all the instruments of the sanctuary, and the fine flour, and the wine, and the oil, and the frankincense, and the spices. And some of the sons of the priest made the ointment of the spices. And Matthiah, one of the Levites, who was the firstborn of Shelum the Kitnite, had the set office over the things that were made in the pans. And other of the brethren of the sons of Kohathites were over the showbread to prepare it in every Sabbath. Okay, now I want to point out here, these people that here are not the Levites. They are not the Levites. The Levites are not taking care of the sanctuary anymore. Somewhere through here, something has happened, and they are not taking care of it anymore. And I'm going back right real quick to see if I can see. And I've already read that. So, the Levites aren't doing it. Okay, let's see where I was at. Okay, orange to roundabout. I lost my place. Okay, I'm on 29. Some of them also were appointed to oversee the vessels and all the instruments of the sanctuary, and the fine flour, wine, and oil, and the frankincense. Okay, now I done read that. I've just messed myself up. Alright, we're going to go to 32. Yep. Okay, and others of their brethren of the son of Kohath were over the showbread to prepare it for the Sabbath. And these are the singers, chief of the fathers of the Levites, who remained in the chambers were free, for they were employed in that work that day and night. All right, so what's an employee? Someone you pay. These chief brothers of the Levites were chief throughout their generation, those dwelling at Jerusalem. All right, now we're going into the family tree of Saul. And we have a lot of begots. And now we're on chapter 10. I'm sorry if we did a terrible job on that. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled before the Philistines and fell down slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed after Saul and after his son, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua the son of Saul. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was wounded of the archer. Then said Saul to his archbearer, Drew thy sword, and thrust me through. Therewith hast thou uncircumcised come and abused me. But his archbearer would not, for he was sore afraid. So Saul took a sword and fell upon it. And when his armbearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise on his sword and died. So Saul died, and his 3 sons and all his house died together. And when all the men of Israel that were in the valley saw that they had fled, that Saul and his son were dead, then they forsook their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his son fallen on Mount Gilboa. And when they had stripped him, they took his head and his armor, and sent into the land of the Philistines around about, and to carry the tidings unto their idols and unto the people. And they put his armor in the house of their God, and fastened his head in a temple of Dagon. And when all of Jabesh Gilead heard of all the Philistine had done to Saul, they arose, all the valiant men, and took away the body of Saul and the bodies of his son, and brought them to Jabesh, and buried their bones under the oak in Jabesh, and fasted 7 days. So Saul died for his transgressions which he committed against the Lord, even against the word of the Lord, which he kept not, and also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit, to inquire of it, and inquired not of the Lord. Therefore he slew him, and turned the kingdom into David the son of Jesse. Now we're on chapter 11. Then all Israel gathered themselves to David unto Hebron, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. And moreover, in time past, even when Saul was king, thou wast he that led us out of the brightest in Israel. And the Lord thy God said unto thee, Thou shalt be my people Israel, and thou shalt be ruler over my people Israel. Therefore come all the elders of Israel to the king to Hebron, and David made a covenant with them in Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel, according to the word of the Lord by Samuel. And David and all of Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were the inhabitants of the land. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, Thou shalt not come thither. Nevertheless, David took the castle in Zion, which is the city of David. And David said, Whosoever smiteth the Jebusites first shall be chief and captain. So Joab, the son of Zeruiah, went first up and was chief. And David dwelt in the castle. Therefore they called it the city of David. And he built the city around about, even from Milo around about, and Joab required the rest of the city. So David waxed greater and greater, for the Lord of hosts was with him. There also are the chief of the mighty men who David had, who strengthened themselves with him in his kingdom, and all of Israel, to make him king according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel. And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had: Joshaboam and Hachamoite, the chief of captains. He left up his spear against 300 and slain by him at one time. And after him was Elzor the son of Dudu, the Ahoanite, who was one of 3 mites. He was with David at Pas Dammon, and there the Philistines were gathered together to battle, where was a parcel of ground full of barley, and the people fled from where the Philistines. And they set themselves in the might of the particle, and delivered it, and slew the Philistines, and the Lord saved them by the great deliverance. Now 3 of the 30 captains went down to the rock to David, and to the cave of Adullam, and the host of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in the hold. The Philistines' grandson was at Bethlehem. And David lodged and said, Oh, that one would give me a drink of water of the well of Bethlehem that is at the gate. And the 3 broke through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David. But David could not drink of it, but poured it out to the Lord, and said, My God, forbid it me that I should do this thing. Shall I drink the blood of those men that have put their lives in jeopardy? For with the jeopardy of their lives they brought it. Therefore he would not drink it. Those things did those three mightiest, and Abishai, the brother of, Abishai, the brother of Joab, he was chief of the three, for letting up his spear against 300. He slew them, and had a name among the three. Of the three, he was more honorable than the two, for he was their captain. Howbeit, he obtained not to the first three. Ben-Ahah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a violent man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts. He slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. Also, he went down and slew a lion in a pit in a snowy day. Ooh, I want you all to pay attention here. A lion-like men. I believe this was talking about their actions, not their looks. All right, 23. And he slew an Egyptian, a man of great stature, 5 cubits high, and in the Egyptian's hand was a spear like a weaver's beam. And he went down to him with the staff, and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and slew him with his own spear. These things did Ben-Ahah, the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among the three mighties. Behold, he was honorable among the 30, but obtained not to the first three, and David set him over his guard. Also the valiant men of the armies were Ashel, the brother of Joab, Elhanan, the son of Dudu of Bethlehem. Okay, now we're going back into genealogy, and it goes all the way down to 47. And we're going to read chapter 12 the next time. I think that's enough. Thank you guys for listening. And I'm not going to be able to put up a video tomorrow sewing because I did not do one. I went out there and I sewed, but I did not record anything. Alrighty, if y'all are listening, then you know there's not going to be a video tomorrow. Hugs and kisses to you.